Hey guys, so today marks 10 years since Deathly Hallows, the book, came out, and my mind is blown. Like, I can't believe it's been that long. This is the shirt I was wearing 10 years ago when I was 17, the night it came out at midnight and the whole next day. This is one of the first shirts I ever bought at Hot Topic, and I was like, I have to wear this today because it's that day. So I kind of want to just like talk about Deathly Hallows today and like appreciate it and what a journey we've been on. I mean, it was a journey just to get to the 7th book, and now it's been such a journey since we got the last Potter book. I mean, with all the movies, and now like they're restarting the franchise basically with Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and Hot Topic is like my drug dealer because they realize there's supply and demand and they step up to the plate and they deliver. And I love it because every time I go into Hot Topic there will be some Potter thing I've never seen before or that I don't own, and that right there, a Potter thing I don't own, like that is hard to do. So on this day 7 years ago, I got my second Harry Potter tattoo, and that is the one that's behind my left ear. That's the lightning bolt with the 3 stars around it, one for each of the trio members. And so today has always been a big day for me because, I mean, I can just remember waiting. I spent like my evening hanging out with friends who weren't Potter fans, Shayna included, and I mean, she's a Potter fan now, but she wasn't back then. We'd only been friends for not even 6 months, and she really did not get the whole Potter thing yet. And so she knew I was super excited to go do something at Walmart at midnight, but she didn't really get it. And for that reason, like, I was like, okay, I'll hang out with you till like 11:30, but then I'm gonna go to Walmart with my dad. Like, I didn't drive yet. I was a poor 17-year-old. I didn't have a car. I didn't drive. So yeah, like I went to Walmart at midnight wearing this shirt. I wasn't dressed up. There was like a handful of people there waiting for the book. One guy was dressed up like in like nice dress pants and a white button-up shirt and a tie, and he had like Harry Potter glasses on. But that was it. And like I remember in that moment like looking around at the crowd waiting for them to uncover this stack of books, and I was sad because I was like, wait, why aren't like more people dressed up? Why am I not dressed up? And I think that's where it started. I think that's why I started dressing up for premieres and midnight releases. And I mean, that year was a big year because 10 days earlier, Order of the Phoenix had come out in theaters. So it was a really exciting time to be a Potter fan. And I just remember finally getting a hold of that book. This book, in fact, this is my original copy of Deathly Hallows that I got at midnight on July 20th/21st. And as you can see, it's got a little wear and tear. It's got like discoloration there. And this is one of the ones that they like put together in the dark to keep secrets from getting out. So it was not well made. And I've read it so many times that it is coming apart in a couple different places. Like, this is not even part of the book anymore. And so I had to buy a new copy of Deathly Hallows after a year or two. And yeah, but I have kept this one because this one is so precious to me. It's like my first copy of Goblet of Fire. It is so worn out. It's in a couple different pieces because I read it within the first year I had that book. I read it 22 times, and I'm not even like bull joshing you there. I read it 22 times because I was so in love with it. And for the first month after I read it, I was in Fargo, North Dakota with that one book. So until my amazing older brother got me a copy of Order of the Phoenix, and I was finally able to read it. So yeah, I just really am appreciating Deathly Hallows today. And I remember the whole who will live, who will die. Like, there was so, like, we all know it now. We know everything now, and it's crazy to think back to all the questions we had, the things we didn't know. Like, I was certain, because this has always been my luck with my favorite characters, and in a way it kind of was, like with Tonks and stuff, but I was so 100% certain that Ron was gonna die. That Ron was not gonna make it out of the final battle. Like, I was so scared going into this book. And like, and if Ron did live, I thought that Harry was probably gonna die, because so many authors, like, they have to kill off their main character just so people are like, yeah, please keep writing books, and their publishers put a lot of stress on them to keep writing books even though the story's done. I thought Harry was gonna, like, legit die, not like die, the Horcrux in him dying, come back. And like, I was terrified, because I was like, but where does that leave Ginny? If Harry dies, what about Ginny? And so like, oh, I remember reading this book for the first time, and there was so much fear, but there was so much excitement and just uncertainty. Like, looking back, it's crazy with everything I know, thinking about everything I didn't know. Like, the top questions going into Deathly Hallows, like opening that book for the first time, all the questions, like the big ones, were, is Snape good or evil? Will Hogwarts reopen? Because it's like, duh, Hogwarts reopened. But at the end of the 6th book, we did not have that guarantee. Like, they left it really open. We didn't know Voldemort was gonna like take over Hogwarts. Another big one was who ends up with whom. Like, you know, we didn't know for sure Ron and Hermione were gonna get together and have 2 gorgeous children. We didn't know that Harry and Ginny were gonna end up together. And, you know, we definitely didn't know that Neville and Hannah were gonna end up together. Like, no one saw that coming. We all thought Neville and Luna were going to end up together. We knew what Horcruxes were, but we had no idea where they were. And when you're going in thinking of how many they had to find, I mean, we were like, how are they going to find all of these in one book? Will Voldemort be defeated? Which, I mean, duh, but I went into it going, yeah, duh, Voldemort's going to be defeated, but at what cost? Like, how much are we going to lose before we win this battle? Of course, like, the biggest question since December 21st, I believe it was, when J.K. Rowling announced the title of the book, we were all like, what are the Deathly Hallows? Like, what is that? And now you say Deathly Hallows and bam, you know exactly what you're talking about. You think of 1 or 2 or 3 of them, you think of the book, the movie, you know what it means. But it's like, but when the book came out, we had no idea what the Deathly Hallows meant. And it's just crazy to think of that. And I mean, the cover of the book gave nothing away. So I just really wanted to talk about Deathly Hallows today and how much I love it, how much has changed since I wore this shirt that night. I don't know if you guys remember where you were that night and what you were doing, but I do. And it's just such a precious memory, because I remember I got the book and I held it. I didn't open the cover at all. I didn't page through it, nothing, until I got home and got sat down with my specially made music playlist. I had 3 CDs worth of music to get me through this book. And I sat down and read, and I didn't stop. And so you might laugh at this, but I just kind of wanted to read something I wrote. I actually wrote this a couple of days before the midnight premiere of Deathly Hallows Part 2. And like, I found it and I was like, you know, I'm not the greatest writer in the world, but I think I want to share this. So it never had a title because it's not really a poem. It was just some thoughts I had about Hogwarts and like Hogwarts, the Harry Potter series as a whole, and being a place we can go, a home. That's what makes Hogwarts so special. Sure, we have to go home for a time, but imagine how amazing going back is going to be. Until then, we must return to the Muggle world, where they're going to try and tell us that this wasn't real and it didn't happen. But you know what? It was real and it did happen. We spent time there. We made friends there. And that will always be a part of us. Because Hogwarts is bigger than any of us. It's even bigger than its creator. And it's going to be around long after we're gone. Maybe we'll see our children come here one day. And that's the magical thing about Hogwarts. No matter how long you're away from it, you'll always find a way back. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. It was hanging on my bulletin board by my work table because when I rearranged my studio, I hung up all of the fan stuff I've gotten over the years on this bulletin board. And in with the fan stuff, I found this thing I had written a few days before the midnight premiere. And I just thought I should hang that up too. And then when I was looking at stuff to film today, I found this and I was like, I think I want to share that. So, alright guys, happy Deathly Hallows Day. Happy 10 years. Holy crap, we have had a decade with this book. No wonder we know everything there is to know about this book. And yet, every time we read it, we notice something different that we didn't notice before. Isn't that amazing? Alright, I love you guys so much, and I will see you later.